The views expressed on this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any organization or entity they may be affiliated with. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Always consult with a qualified professional regarding any decisions related to your specific circumstances. Welcome back to Into the Vortex podcast. We have a special guest with us today, Tyrell Thompson, former NFL defensive lineman turned college football coach. So, without further ado, welcome, Tyrell. How you been doing?
Yeah, man, I've been good. Right now, I'm a junior college coach, and we're in the thick of recruiting right now. Kind of getting ready to wind things down for Christmas break, and then get it all started again in January.
So, we know where you came from, but let's tell everybody else where you come from.
So I was born in Tampa, Florida, but my dad was in the army. So growing up, moved all over the world, like Georgia, Virginia, Texas twice, Germany. I just been everywhere. Um, Settled down, well, not settled down, but I graduated from Copperas Cove here in Texas, and um, just kind of that's like my home base, I guess. It's my recruiting area, and it's always been just kind of a safe place.
Nice. Tampa, Florida. I got family that lives out there. I didn't even know you were from
Yep.
Tampa.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't claim it. All my family lives there, but I claim Cove as my home. That's where I've been the longest.
Right. Understandable on that. I've been here my whole life, so I mean Colleen and
I'm so
Cove. That's
sorry.
it. Yeah. It's like once you come here, it's like you're stuck, you know?
Yeah, that's
It's
the hard part about it. Like growing up, it was cool because like we didn't really see that there was nothing to do here, but there's really nothing to do in Cove.
literally nothing. All they care about is businesses. That's it.
And there's not much of that.
Yeah.
What to say? Yeah, they suck at that.
So, you graduated from Cove. Where'd you go next?
Yep. Shit, I went to Blinn for about 3 months, got in trouble, had to leave Blinn, transferred to Trinity Valley, was there all of 2016, played that season. And then from there, I went to Tarleton State, was there for 2 years. That's where I ended up graduating from.
So which college was the best in your opinion?
Tarleton, definitely. I wish I would have Tarleton like out of high school. Well, I wish I'd have went D1 out of high school, but I was bullshitting in the classroom and just not taking school seriously. Like I'm not dumb by any means, but
No,
I
I know
just
you're
didn't
not.
have the proper guidance. Yeah, I didn't have
So
the proper guidance to be like, you have to be good on the football field and the classroom. Everyone's just telling me how good I was on the football field. So I thought I would just, go on and play big time football because I was good on the field. But, it's kind of all coming full circle now, being a coach. I have the number one defensive end in the nation, and
nice.
he's nice on the field, but he sucks in the classroom.
Right.
So
And
I'm trying to help him out and give him guidance that I didn't have.
right.
Yeah, fortunately, he's got you to learn from any sort of mistakes that you made then. Looking back,
Exactly.
most of us didn't really have really good guidance, out
No,
in
not
Copperas
at
Cove
all.
High School.
I was
Yeah,
I
it's
was B's and C's, maybe if that, you know? So, but
Moving on throughout college, most people don't get the opportunity to go play at that next level or even look into what that next level looks like. You had the opportunity to go through some of that process. What does that all entail, anyways?
um well, it starts really nowadays. It starts in like if you're really good, it starts from junior high. But for like the typical athlete, it probably starts about your sophomore year of high school. Schools start looking at you. Schools start contacting you. Everything nowadays is done social media. So like Twitter is huge, or X, whatever you want to call it. It's huge nowadays. Just coaches, they see your film or they see you at a camp somewhere, and they contact you and they just want to know a little bit about you. So I think I got my first like a little bit of college interest sophomore year. I was a varsity starter as a sophomore. Didn't know anything about football. I didn't start playing football really until like our freshman year.
Really?
That's just kind of yeah. I didn't play sports. I played soccer in third grade, but other than that, I played a little basketball here and there. And then like didn't really play sports too much. My brother always played, so like, I was always the water boy and shit. But I didn't like football. Never really interested me. But we moved back to Texas right before freshman year started. I knew I wanted to play just because of the history that I was in Cove, and then all my friends played football, so I went. And by that time, as a freshman, I was 6'2", like 230. So all the coaches fucking fell in love with me, and they just kind of put me out there. Again, didn't know what I was doing, but they put me on defense and said, "Go get the quarterback." So that was easier said than done. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got my first interest sophomore year from Texas State. Didn't really know much about recruiting or anything, but I remember going on visits and kind of meeting different coaches and stuff, and just loving that process of being loved up and being told that I could be a difference maker in a program and things like that. So all that really interests me. But again, just didn't really understand the full aspect of everything. It's hard to be a college prospect because you're not just a normal kid. Like you gotta
Right.
make sure that you do everything right, and you gotta be good in the community, and you don't have like that freedom to make like small like childish mistakes that other kids can. And like, I was never one of those kind of kids that was just out doing whatever, but it's just you have that target on your back, so there is a lot of pressure to it, but it can be fun if you make it fun.
Yeah, man, you're always being watched no matter what you do. I mean, even if you post something on any social media, I can't even speak, social media, that, I mean, they're watching every little thing that you're doing.
Yeah, everything, and it's even like I say, it's even worse nowadays because everything is out there on social media, and you can find anything from years ago, like whether Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's just once it's there, it's there, and you can't really take it away.
So did you ever have to get like media trained? When people ask certain questions, you're like, try to work around that.
That came. It came with like doing certain interviews. Like in high school, we had like the local papers and stuff like that. So as a younger kid, a sophomore, they were telling me, avoid these certain questions or answer this a certain way. But, you're 15, 16, you don't really understand. But the more you do interviews and you realize how people, kind of articulate their conversations, it really just, it all kind of is like the same thing over and over again. And you kind of can direct where the conversation is going to go. But when I went to the NFL, we had to take a class, and that right there really taught me how to do interviews, how to, like you say, avoid certain questions, or, if I don't want to answer it, then I'll answer it a certain way to where it still answers their question, but not gives off too much information.
It's like being a politician.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's NFL for sure.
So
It's all politics.
yeah, how was that initial phone call when you got that call to the NFL?
Well, the whole process was difficult because I've always been, like that guy at my respective position or school or whatever. So going through the whole process, you're kind of getting told like you might be a day 3 guy, you might slip into a day 2 guy. I knew I wasn't going first night of the job. Like I went
Right.
to a Division 2 school, and I knew I wasn't that good to go day 1. So I think the first night I just watched it because I knew a lot of people that went that first night. And then the second day, was kind of watching it here and there, but trying to keep myself busy, not really kind of looking at the draft. And then day 3, that Saturday, like I knew I could go anytime between, round, I think it's like round 4 through 7 or undrafted. And so I was kind of watching, the draft kept going on. And then my agent called me and he was like, "Who's EJ Speed?" And I'm like, "That's our linebacker, from Charleston." And he was like, "Well, he just got drafted in the 5th round to the Colts." And I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm way better than him. Like, why is he getting drafted? But I was happy for him
Right.
because he is a great athlete. He's a starter right now for the Colts, so props to him. So I'm like, okay, this is going to happen. One way or another. I knew during the whole draft process where I wanted to be, and I wanted to be with the LA Rams. That's the team I talked to the most. They had Aaron Donald. Like, why not, as a defensive lineman, go play with the best defensive lineman like that's out there? And so the draft went on. The Rams had 2 of the last 3 picks in the draft that year in round 7. And so I'm like, okay, one of these has to be me. And so I was just sitting there watching. They took Nick Scott. He was a safety out of Penn State, more like a special teams guy. And then their last pick, they took Dakota Allen, a linebacker from Texas Tech. And so I was kind of upset. My parents went to HEB, and we just kind of like, it is what it is.
Right.
And so I went to my room, trying not to like be upset, but not
Of course.
knowing what's coming next. So I was like, I'm just going to just go take a nap, whatever. And then my agent calls. So I'm thinking he's just calling to say like, it didn't happen, but, kind of explaining what's next. And he was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm about to take a nap, whatever." And he was like, "Well, get up and celebrate. You're going to LA." And I was just like, whoa, like how this happened? He was like,
Yeah.
"The deal was done like an hour ago. I just been so busy I didn't call you." And I'm like, "Well, fuck, dude. Like, you could have told me like
Yeah.
something." But that was just a very exciting time for me and my family to be able to say like, you finally made it. But once you do make it, that's the hard part. Like I always tell people, getting to the NFL is not hard. It's staying in the NFL that's hard.
Exactly. Because anything can happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all politics. Like one bad thing happens, like you're completely screwed.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. I was there. I was learning. I was like between second and third string because I picked up the playbook very quickly. I mean, it was all easy. Everything was like kind of color scheme, so just grouping everything with a certain color. That's the way my brain works. So it was just really easy for me. And then one day we went out to practice, and I just could not bend at all. Couldn't get in my stance. My knee just locked up. Had no idea what was going on. And I tried to make it through practice, but I just wasn't explosive, couldn't run. And our coach was like, "You need to go see the trainer." But I knew if I wanted to go see the trainer, like it was over for me. And I tried to fight through it. Ended up having to go see the trainer. I sat in the training room for about a month. And then we got me back moving around. Everything was good. The day I got cleared, I was going to get ready to go out to practice, and they called me in the office, and they cut me that day. So that was very heartbreaking, just because I felt like I didn't really get a full opportunity to showcase what I could do. But to me, I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And being out that month, I was able to actually see and study how the NFL works. And I always tell people, like, I loved my time in the NFL for all the perks and everything, but
Hmm.
I personally would not want to go back because it is so political, and it's not what people see on Sundays. Like there's so much behind the scenes stuff to where it makes it like an actual job, whether versus like going out and playing the game that you love.
And now that was kind of my next question. Like, have you ever thought about, trying to do a tryout with a team? But
I mean, of course, you like think about it, but like I said, it's just I know I wouldn't be happy in the NFL, just because of all the political stuff. Like when I was a rookie, we had classes to where we didn't wear certain things, that would be a fine, or if we said certain things, that's a fine, or it's just the smallest things. They just like the NFL to me is just money hungry, and if you're not like the top guy, they're looking for any and every reason to get you out of there. Those scouts are always looking at different talent. It's always like a revolving door. Like you see the same main name guys, but if you really look at an NFL roster, it's constantly changing. And that's, to me, I think that's not, it's not fair, because those are young men's lives that you're dealing with. Like one day they're sitting pretty in their house or whatever, and the next day they could be cut and have to pick up and move. And then you talk about like families and all that stuff. It's just, to me, it's a lot that goes into it. And personally, I've had more fun playing in various other leagues than I did in the NFL.
Are you still playing now?
I am.
Where are you playing at?
So after the NFL, I went to the XFL. That was 2019, 2020, and then COVID hit. And so that league folded during COVID. And then after that, I started playing arena football in the IFL, the Indoor Football League. So I did that 2021 through this past summer, 2024. And now I'm signed to play in the International Football Alliance, the IFA, and it's a team down in San Antonio that I'll go play with next summer. So that's where I'll be. So that's outdoor football again, 11-on-11. Arena football was 8-on-8.
Right.
So 11-on-11 football, kind of getting back to real football.
Oh, that's a blast.
Yeah, I've seen like when you played arena, like I was watching the game, and that pace right there is probably 10 times faster because the field is so small.
Yeah.
It's like half the size of a football field.
Yep, 50 yards, and you got the walls around, and that is, personally, I love it. It's just so much faster, and there's not so much of like the targeting, and you can't hit people like a certain way. And to me, that's going back to real football, the way it should be played, where people are flying into the stands, and guys are putting their body on the line. That's the type of football that I love. Like now, especially with the NFL, it's like, can I hit this guy? Can I, hit this quarterback when he just threw the ball? It's like you got to think so much. You can't just play. So I love playing arena football. This new league, I'm not sure how the rules work, but I'm interested to play 11-on-11 again, because I haven't played 11-on-11 since my time in the NFL, well, the XFL, but that was like very short lived. But now I played D line my entire career, but now I play O line. So this is my first chance to play 11-on-11 as an offensive lineman. So I'm excited.
That's pretty wild. That's cool, man. I mean, that's why I like that Texas game against Georgia, that very last, second to last play when Stockton got his head rung, but it wasn't. Like that's football. Like
that is. You can't. It's sad that you can't just drop a shoulder into somebody anymore, or like they got rid of the hip drop tackle, which I understand with the hip drop tackle, like your ankle will be gone.
Right.
It will be dangling. But man, that's badass. And
yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. The assistant head coach and GM of the team that I'm going to play with in San Antonio is Jack Welch.
Oh man,
the legend.
Yeah, so reuniting with Jack Welch.
Yes, and he knows how you play. So
exactly,
I have a lot of respect for that guy. Like
I do too. Growing up playing for him, I did not like him because like he kept telling me different things that he saw in me. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Just being a young dumb teenager. But growing up, dude, he is very smart. He knows what he's talking about. I have so much respect for him. Really, all of our coaches that were positive, that we had. it's just, they are really good men. And like the other day, I recruited Harker Heights, and Coach Brock is over at Harker Heights, and him and I talked for about an hour, just kind of catching up and everything. And those are really good people that just want the best for everyone that they've come in contact with.
Exactly. They actually teach you instead of just yelling at you to do better.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I love the all the Coach Brock stories. I use when he always was great. Do your job. I say that shit at work all the time, just like that. But man, we had some pretty badass coaching. We had a badass coaching staff, and when he left Copperas Cove, I mean, it hasn't been the same since.
No, not at all.
Oh, not even close.
Standards have dropped. I mean, the men don't even have their haircuts anymore. They wear jewelry on the field. I mean, it's trashed.
And that's just like it's like that really all over the country. The game has changed, and it's really sad to see. You have like in where I'm at, junior college, you have guys, wearing chains to practice or in games, and their Apple watches and stuff, and they just want to worry about when can we get done with practice. They don't want to actually go to practice and get better. So it's a lot has changed about the game of football, and especially with all this NIL shit,
I was
bro.
just about
Like
to
I
say
personally,
that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like that is the worst thing that could have happened to football. Like, I agree. Like football players should have gotten paid, something. But if you really like dive deep into how a scholarship works, we were getting paid. Like when I was at Charlton, I was getting paid. I think I brought home after like all the school, books, tuition, all that stuff. I brought home about $9,000-$10,000 a semester. I was set. Like I didn't need anything else. I was, 20, 21 years old with $10,000. Blew through that shit fast as fuck, but I still had it,
Right.
But it's just now you got guys making more than some NFL players.
Millions.
It's just, yeah, it's crazy.
Money always talks.
Yeah, that's the fastest way to get. If this school has this NIL package they create, I mean, they can pull almost anybody they want to. Because these young men, they don't know.
Exactly. You would think like these guys would make super teams or something, but with the portal and everything, it's just in and out as fast as you can. Who's gonna pay me the most money?
Going into that, the coaching that you're doing, like, what are some of are you pulling some of the philosophies that you were taught back in, under Coach Brock, or have you pretty much like scoped your own way as you went through college and your stint in the NFL?
Yeah, everything that I teach my guys are things that I've been taught. So from high school all up to the NFL, a lot of the drills that I do are the same ones that I did one in the NFL, but mostly in high school and or college. And I still keep in contact with a lot of the coaches that I either played for or recruited me. Just the other day, I was at Killeen High School, and there was a coach that actually recruited me from a different school, and him and I sat and we talked for a little bit, just kind of coming full circle on things. And just it's all about relationships, and I'm always down to get with other D-line coaches or trainers or whatever and bounce ideas off each other, because to me, I want the best for the next group of guys coming up. And if I can have the best defensive line, that's out there, that's only going to help not only them, but my resume as well. And, I'm trying to kind of always elevate. So I'm open to learning anything.
That's a good coach right there.
I appreciate that.
So like right now, like we all know, like back in like high school, like most of the coaches also taught. I mean, I'm sure you don't teach now,
Nope.
but you're sole focused on your defensive linemen, recruiting the next batch, and just making them better. Like that is your full-time job.
Yep. So I thought about, doing high school and, trying to start there, but I worked at an elementary school as a PE teacher for about a year and a half. It wasn't bad. It was just, those kids are little and I'm a very large man. So it's just, I didn't want to put myself in that situation to where like trying to teach a kid something and like run them over or something like that. And it didn't really work out too well. And then I did junior high for about 6 months, and like I didn't hate it. Like I loved my job, but it's just those kids nowadays are so ruthless and they're so disrespectful. Like I know that I can't be in that type of setting right now at this age. Not saying that like if I get older, maybe I can go back and do it, but I know I cannot. I don't want to teach right now. I don't have the patience to teach, and I don't have the patience to teach someone how to love football. Like if you don't love football, then I can't. I just can't do it because one, like I'm still playing and I still love the game, and I have such a high passion for the game that if you're not matching that energy, like what are you really out here for? Like I know
Right.
at junior high level, it's just guys that are out there because their parents want them out there or their friends are out there, and they don't really understand how to play the game, and I don't have the patience to teach someone like how to play football right now. Like I have my son, like I teach him how to play football, but that's a little bit different. He's only
Of course.
2 and he picks it up very well because he actually enjoys it. But I can't take little Jimmy, who, is fat as hell, respectfully, and, try to put him on the line and he wants to play quarterback. Like, come on, bro. I'm trying to help you with your future.
Exactly.
But, you also don't want to tear a kid's dream either. So, like, I love where I'm at right now. I'm not teaching, just strictly football. So that's perfect for me right now.
Yeah, we got lucky because when we went through school, we grew up on generations of greatness, right?
Exactly.
And so like we learned the hard lessons, and there wasn't this soft nature education or this soft coaching. Like you fucked up, the coach let you know you fucked up.
You're running them gassers.
You got discipline
until they are tired.
There's no discipline anymore in these schools.
No.
And it's like you can't nowadays because, and I blame the parents. Like someone was hard on that parent, so now that parent is soft on that kid, and you can't coach them hard because they get in their feelings and they go tell mom or dad. Now mom and dad's upset because you're being too hard on that kid. Like fuck that. Like let's go back to the days where, like you say, if you did something wrong, you get cussed out and you just move on to the next period or the next drill or whatever. And it's like, to me, like I will cuss out my guys, but I also will lift them up at the same time because that's what happened with us. Like, yeah, you messed up, but the next play you did good because you learned from your mistakes. There's no learning anymore. It's just all about we have to coddle these young men now, and it's only going to make things worse moving forward.
Right. Just don't take it with a grain of salt. Like, don't be pissed.
Yeah.
Do better, and then you'll get praised.
One of my favorite things that Coach Brock used to always say is not personal, strictly business.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. But yeah, he was a good man. What do you, if you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what's your goals?
Man, I really want to be at a Division I program somewhere. I used to say, like, my favorite school, my favorite college of all time is OU. I'm a diehard OU fan. Don't know how that came about. Yeah, sorry. I'm a diehard OU fan. So I used to want to be at Oklahoma, but now I just want to be at a Division I program that aligns with me and my vision for coaching young men. Everyone always asks me, they're like, would you ever come back to Cove? And no, like I would not come back to Cove. I would not work at Cove. Like the only way that I will is if there's a former player that played under Jack Welch that is the head coach. No disrespect to their head coach now. I have a great relationship with him and his staff, but there's higher ups that don't align with what I'm looking for in my career. I don't wish to be a defensive coordinator. To me, that's too much responsibility. I don't want to be a head coach, too much responsibility, too much paperwork. Like, let me just coach the D line or the O line or whatever. Like, I'll learn a position. I'll be a position coach, but I don't want that extra responsibility. Right now, coaching D line, I'm doing great because I play D line and I understand it. I like mess with the linebackers a little bit because I'm still in the box. But after that, the secondary, I don't know shit about the secondary. Like all I know is 2 man means we're running cover 2 and we're playing man. But everything else, I don't know anything about soft shell or different coverages. Like even when I'm playing like college football or something like that, I struggle trying to read a defense. Like it is so hard. But if I'm trying to run the ball, okay, I see I got 4 guys on the right side of the line. I'm running to the left because that's just the open holes. Like I could run the ball all day, but when it's time to pass the ball, I throw about 6 picks a game. Like that's just it's a given.
Yeah.
But like, if I could run the ball, I'll be good. But yeah,
You'll be one big ass running back. You're the kind of guy they'll give the ball to on the 1 yard line.
Yes, a lot of teams should have did that. We did that at Cove once. They threw me the ball, but it's just to me, I'm all about using guys and their best asset. I always tell guys when I'm recruiting them, I'm not someone that's going to change who you are. I'm going to get you how you are and just develop you as you are. Like let you be who you are without changing you too much. Because especially at this level, the college level, you got here being a certain way. Who am I to change that? Like you've been an edge rusher your whole life. I'm not going to make you go in and try to stop the run on first or second down. Like that makes no sense to me. If you're a pass rusher, go be a pass rusher, perfect that, go get paid to do that. That's just my philosophy.
How do you feel about the new, like the college football playoffs? Like, how do you feel about how they've transitioned it this year? Like anybody who wins gets a automatic
I like
seat.
it, but I think they're going to have to expand it even more. They're going to have to eventually go to how like the D1 FCS level does, where I think it's like 32 teams get in, just because like you have a team that is like Boise State, they have a first round bye, because they were I don't know if they're the at large, but they have a first round bye. And then you look at a team like SMU who got in, like great that they got in, they had a great season, but they lost in the conference championship, but yet they still get in. However, like Alabama didn't get in. Granted, Alabama, I don't think they should have got in, but I personally would have taken an Alabama over like an Indiana or something like that. Like,
Yeah, on
who
Arizona
to
State.
me, yeah, again, Arizona State won the Big 12. Like that's great for them. But do I really think they're going to have a chance to win the national championship? No, because again, you're going to come into those SEC teams, the Oregons and stuff like that, those real powerhouse teams where you're going to get outcoached and outplayed.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And I'm sure Texas is going to end up playing Oregon. But if they beat Oregon, they go all the way through. I mean, we might see another Texas Georgia game this year.
Yep, exactly. And that's what a lot of people have said. It's going to be Texas, Georgia, either Texas, Georgia, or Oregon, Georgia. But everyone has Georgia in there, and it's either Texas or Oregon. I think I think now with them going from the Power Five to the Power Four, it's only going to continue to trickle down, and you might only have like 2 dominant conferences. But if you really want true fairness, they're going to have to expand it even more and just let the top 25 that's in the top 25 at the end of the season, let those 25 teams compete for the national championship at the end of the year.
That's a good idea.
If those are the best teams in the nation, let them battle it out. Let number 1 get a bye and let 2 go against 25 or whatever, however that works, and just play it on from there.
Yeah, because even Army was top 25 this year.
Yep. Army has lost 1 game, and they're not in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
That blows my fucking mind.
I've never seen Army do that good before, ever.
Me either, yeah.
And
it's like those are the type of guys that I like. The ones that don't care about the flashiness and all that. They just go out and play and dominate, and what they're going to do. What the offense is going to do. You just got to line up and stop it. Like that to me, that's real football.
And you'll see some of the biggest upsets in college football if they did that.
Oh yeah.
I love a
Which
good
means to me
upset
that makes the
weekend.
game more interesting, and like as a fan, it makes you want to watch the game because you don't know who's going to win. Like everyone was tuned in to Texas Georgia because that was a good game, but honestly, I had Texas winning that game. I think Texas should have won that game, but it was a good game at the end, and I think a lot of people watched it, through and through. But at the beginning of the game, Texas dominated.
I don't really know if Georgia's might. I don't even think they're going to make it. I mean,
Now,
their
yeah,
quarterback's out for
quarterbacks
this
out.
season, and their
Hmm.
backup is on concussion protocol.
Wow.
So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, if they get him back, I mean, Stockton he did pretty well.
That man can run.
He did pretty well, but I don't
Yeah.
if he got his ass rocked. I mean, even the interview after the game, like he wasn't even making any fucking sense. So I mean, who
Yeah,
knows?
so
That could
having
have been
this this time off will definitely help teams get healthier, and it should be pretty interesting. But it's just right now it's going to be, I guess, kind of boring with all these different bowl games and stuff going on, and trying to get to like the New Year's Six and all that stuff. This just got to be what it got to be.
So we have a question we've been asking all of our interviewees, and it's
Hmm.
nothing to do with sports. Okay,
Okay.
so when you're president of the United States, there's a button on your desk, and if you would hit this button, you would get something. Like Donald Trump, he would hit his button. Sorry about that. He would hit his button, and he gets Diet Coke. Joe Biden hit his button, he gets ice cream. You're president, you hit your button. What would you order?
Wings. Lemon
I
pepper
said the
wings.
same thing. Yes,
Bro,
sir.
I can eat wings every day.
Yes.
Never get tired of it.
Some lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, that's what I was telling
Oh,
Nate too. I'm like,
yeah.
you have to have a chef in the kitchen all the fucking time.
yeah.
I'll pay him good money. I'll pay him good money.
It's gonna be like a 15-minute order unless they're always having them, just in case you push the button.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll wait for that, man.
exactly. That's
They're
what I said. The
fresh.
same thing.
Are you still around the Central Texas area right now?
Right now, yeah, I am. This past week, I was recruiting all the Central Texas schools, so I'm here now. I'm actually in Cove now. I have my son right now, so I was just hanging out with him a little bit.
Hell yeah.
He's downstairs with his grandma right now, but it's just I love being here in this area, and there's so much talent here that just gets overlooked by like the Houston, the Dallas, and everything, but. Like I love recruiting in Central Texas. I also have Houston. That's one of my areas, but there's just so much in Houston that it kind of gets overwhelming at times. But being able to come back home and like, I don't need a GPS to go to these schools because like I've been there before and I know the area really well. So I love being around here. I hate being here like when there's nothing to do, like as an adult, but like work wise, I love being here.
So you like wings? There's this, you know where the Killeen Airport is, right? Off 195.
Yep.
So across from the Killeen Airport, there's this bar and grill called Joker's, and they produce the best wings I've ever had.
Yep. They have
Okay, I'll try that out.
they have Wing Wednesdays where the wings are just $1,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's dangerous.
Oh, man,
They're not small.
you know how I am. One time I ordered 30 wings. I did not care.
Can you
But-
can you take them to go, or you have to eat it there?
Oh, you can go to
You,
go.
you can take them to go,
Yeah.
Even better.
but I get like this. They have like this hot lemon pepper wing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
it's so
right up my
good.
alley.
So good.
Definitely have to try that out then.
Just so you know, you're a hell of a coach, and I know you want to go D1. You got it. You got this. I know you'll get there eventually.
Hopefully, it's for
I
Texas.
appreciate it. Yeah, this was just still my first year. It'll be a year in February, so still kind of learning different things, and like I said, just bouncing ideas off of guys and everything like that. I'm always into networking. Whoever I can come in contact with and just talk to them. You never know who's going to be where someday.
Exactly.
So I'm really big into networking. I'm really big into just talking to different people, whether it's football coaches or not. Like that's why I was so, quick to answer to be on this podcast because you never know like who might see it or hear it, and it's just the way that everything works nowadays. The sky's the limit for everything.
Everything.
So I appreciate you guys for real.
No, we appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man. I mean, we got We got about 1,000 followers right now, so your story is definitely going to be heard.
I appreciate that.
So,
how have y'all been though?
well,
It's always been about me, but how are y'all?
We've been good, man.
We've been good. Just chilling.
We started going to the gym again, and
yeah, I'm fat.
Shit,
man.
I need to be right there with y'all.
Man, it's been
I
a
need
challenge.
to get back in. Yeah,
I'm working in EMS and put on a little bit of weight. Just part of the. I would say it's part of the job, but it just changes your mindset a little bit, and you get kind of complacent. And I got a little complacent.
Yeah, I work from home, so.
Oh yeah,
that's tough.
I don't know how he does it. I could not work from home. I would get sidetracked. I would see some project, and I wouldn't get any work done.
Yeah, and it's really crazy. That we're here because there's not a lot of people in the world that still have connections from like high school and stuff like that. Like a lot of people, they don't talk to their high school people anymore, and
Nope.
like I talk to like Keanis and Gabe and Ryan every day. Like those are my guys. Like it's just
Hell yeah.
that connection that we've always had. And when I tell people that, they're like, "You still talk to people from high school?" Like, yeah, like why not?
Yeah.
Like you get older and you have different friends and stuff like that, but the ones you grew up with, the ones that you actually have a connection with and that you've gone through shit with, like those are the ones that you keep around. So
most definitely.
like this was definitely a no-brainer.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's amazing. Like your last day of high school, the odds of you ever seeing half of those people again are none.
Man, and then like we're coming up on 10 years, and I could care less about going to the reunion because people I talk to every day anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going. Especially they added that cover charge now. It's like $50 or $100.
Bro, that was the craziest thing. Like, I gotta pay to go to my class reunion.
Right?
Like,
oh yeah,
I'm
not going. If I want to talk to anybody, I'm just going to reach out to them. And I like
exactly.
I like meeting up with people, a couple years later, or I mean, who knows? You reconnect, and now you're best friends again. Like you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And you went through the grind with these guys for over a decade, growing up and going through some shit. I mean, we remember bomb threat Blue Days.
Man,
that was insane.
That was the craziest thing.
I already had my backpack ready to go because I knew it was gonna happen. Jeez.
Everybody was watching the clock. Like it was like clockwork every time too.
No, for real. But I love also how, like, let's say, obviously you and I don't talk like that, every day. But when I do hit you up or whatever, it's like we never, missed a step.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with Cove in general, how small I guess I used to be, and just growing up here and everything. But that's also a testament to like us as men, and then like our parents, just kind of the way they raised us.
Exactly.
Nowadays it's everybody's kind of hit or miss, and no one wants to really be friends anymore. Like I could care less. Like if you needed something, like I would help you out as much as I can, and I know it'd be the same thing, vice versa.
Exactly.
I have so much respect for like you and all the other friends that I have.
I appreciate that.
Again, it's just we always have that connection, and I don't see it going anywhere.
No. Just like we went to Keanis' house. It was a while ago. I think it was for what? The baby shower?
Was that when y'all were wrestling around? Or was that a
no. I remember we were wrestling around. That was like years ago.
Yeah, that was. I remember that. That was crazy.
He was telling all these stories and stuff.
Yeah, and then we ended up playing Manhunt on the hill.
Man, we did some crazy stuff.
Some crazy shit. But
it's also crazy. Like Keanu's just married now.
Yeah, that's just insane. But yeah, the last time I think we actually talked, we were at the baby shower, and we just ended up playing Madden.
It's like you never missed a second.
Yeah,
we just
we
all ended up playing Madden, just talking so much shit. It was fun. That was fun.
It's always good times, man.
But yeah, man, we'll have to get together again and catch up, man.
For sure.
That concludes episode 8 of Into the Vortex podcast. Please follow us on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X at Into the Vortex podcast.